bloody Nasiriyah, a city that saw a lot of fighting and a lot of dying.
Art Harris, born and raised here in Georgia. He's a commissioned officer in the United States Navy. He's a former CNN investigative correspondent. His awards include 2 national Emmys, 11 national headliner awards.
I'm Art Harris, and I got to say, this is one of the great honors for me to be among you all like this. am used to covering you on the other side. Probably the highlight of my career as an ex-Navy guy was being in the dirt with the Marines in Iraq. I'm probably one of the few journalists who had been in the military that I knew of. This was a chance to give us a ringside seat up close and personal and tell the personal stories of what it's really like to be in a war. Somebody asked me when I got back, were you scared? Well, I can say what a general once told me, Art, if you weren't scared, you were either lying or psychotic. So being embedded, the only rules were don't compromise our security and just report what you see. And I, by luck of the draw, got 2nd LAR, which these are the guys that go ahead of the unit and draw fire and then call in airstrikes and go help pull people out of tough spots. So it was an amazing group of young guys. So these kids told me kind of what to do, when to duck, and in the middle of things, one even said, hey, Mr. Harris, you know how to use an M16? I said, I do, but my camera is my gun, and I got to use that. But when they found out that I could get on the internet, they asked me to write love letters home to their girlfriend and their wives. What do you want to tell her? Her name's Judy, this one kid said. Just tell her I'm fine, I miss her. Well, don't you want to tell her you miss her beautiful blue eyes, that soft curve in her neck, and that soft skin? Yes, sir, right there. But the first night I was there, it was just, a beautiful starry night initially, and then kind of very dark in the desert, very quiet. All of a sudden, I'm feeling these droplets. And we had been briefed about Saddam's ability, his WMD, nerve gas, air bursts, and I'm thinking, uh-oh, my gas mask is at the foot of my sleeping bag. What do? Do I grab it? They said you had 10 seconds from getting dosed to die. So get your gas mask on, and so do I take a quick gulp of air, or do I reach for it? And so I hear this voice from the truck. Mr. Harris, you want to come in out of the rain, or are you going to stay there? It was a rainy night in Iraq, nothing like a rainy night in Georgia. Thank God it was rain, but I'm coming in, yeah. We were sent into Nasiriyah. Nasiriyah was a small town on the Euphrates, about 220 miles from Baghdad, and it turned out that there were 5,000 Fedayeen and some of Saddam's troops. The first thing that went wrong was the Jessica Lynch convoy. You remember that? They took a wrong turn and got stuck on the other side of the city, and suddenly bad guys were coming out of everywhere to shoot at these unarmed giant trucks, had been pinned down on this road and were taking friendly and enemy fire. And so LAR is dispatched to go rescue them. There were Iraqis firing at us, we were firing at them, they left, and suddenly on the other side of the bridge, there was another Marine unit. Suddenly it was a showdown between 2 Marine units who didn't know we were firing at each other. That was my personal experience with friendly fire. The other thing that happened, we met this little family. He was the janitor in the schoolhouse. These beautiful kids, and invited me into his house. And so I asked him, I said, is the bath party, are they still around? And he said, yes, they're in the mansions along the river with a Mercedes parked out front. So I said, the Marines ask you that at all? He said, no. So I said, well, if they did, would you tell them? He said, yes, I tell them. And so they pull out a map, and I never wrote about his name in CNN, but this is one of the heroes, because they wound up rounding up all these bad guys along the river, and I think that may have helped in the Battle of Nasiriyah a little bit. One day, one of our Marines lifted up a live wire so we could go under it, and this was about 5 days into the war. And he got electrocuted, knocked to the ground, put him in an LAV, and he didn't make it. And flash forward, I'm back, and I met the commandant, and as we're watching the Marine drill team, I got a little choked up and asked him, I said, so, sir, do you ever think about the guys who didn't come back? And he says, Art, every day. every day. This is my son Josh, and there he is, saluting all of them and all of you. Thank you.